still putting like, who acted the movie, the title of the movie, that whole screenplay part that has music, or so you get like the actual film. I used to make that kind of stuff, which was platforms as early as like 8 years old. And then I stumbled upon the internet as well, stumbled on social media. I joined social media pretty early. Now, that shouldn't have been allowed, to be very honest. But I mean, at that time, nobody was monitoring me. And to be fair, the only friends I had on social media were my brothers, because none of my mates were there. I was on High Five, and I had a MySpace account as well. And just being on the internet around that time, one thing led to another as well. I stumbled on programming. I remember that the first language that I ever programmed in was Visual Basic, at that time. I used to use programming to check that the math assignments we did in school was correct. So when I finished doing like a math assignment, I would go and write like small code to check, to put the numbers in the assignment and be sure that the answer I get is the answer that I got in the homework. I don't really care about the working. I just want to get the answer right so that I'll get my full mark and everybody will be okay. So I used to do that. And that sort of just made me interested in like the entire thing. I remember saying that I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I mean, we did then was not like now where they're like not a lot, but there are some people that you can look and be like, okay, I want to be the other. I didn't have that. I didn't have any of those. I just knew that for sure, whatever it is I'm doing in my life, I want to end up in front of a computer because I like doing computer stuff. And that made me very, very intentional about, all the courses, all the subjects I took in secondary school. My ICT classes very seriously. I made sure that I took a bunch of these classes and these courses very well. I didn't care about the rest, to be honest. But I just made sure that what they're teaching me in my computer class, teaching me about the web, teaching me about viruses, teaching me about all these things, I made sure that I learned them well. And when it was time to go into university, a few mentors started popping up here and there. And I've mentioned mentors like twice or three times in the story because sometimes having people that can lead you, having people that can guide you, having some kind of mentors, people to share what your goals are or what your dreams are with you, what your plans are, can help you go a long way. Because if I didn't have these mentors, I don't want to say I would have made a mistake, but I would have done something different from what I did. It might have been a mistake, it might have been a blessing, I don't know. But I'm blessed to be where I am. So hopefully that path wouldn't have been a mistake. So the path I wanted to make was that, I talked about using programming to validate my assignment. So I love math a lot. So the path that I wanted to take was actually go and study maths and then somehow still be taking extra classes or courses, whatever, to learn about computers, learn about programming. But I wanted to be a mathematician because at that moment, I didn't really know better. Right? And then that was when, having elderly people and mentors around, and that's why something like this whole Food Africa Summer Cook Camp is very important because you are connected with people that are older, that have the experience, that can share things with you. The elderly person that had the experience told me that, oh, well, learning maths and going to study maths and learning to code is great, but why don't you just go and study computer science right now? Because you are just there, right? You've not entered, so it's not like, oh, okay, you studied something else, so you want to transition later. Like, you are at the beginning, and since you've made up your mind that this is what you want to do, just enter it from the start. And that was what I did. And I remember doing that. And as I entered and I was studying this computer science, let me tell you something. Having a degree is great, but what's also important is that you show people that you can do stuff. Practicals, hands-on stuff. Trying to code when necessary, building stuff. I've heard people talk about Scratch twice or three times here. Trying to create stuff with programming, clearing all of that stuff you create, getting an internship when the age comes, when that time comes. I feel like these are the things that don't have that whole computer science background, computer science degree. So I remember that when I was still in the university, again, going back to mentors, having important people in your life that tell you the right things and push you, I was made to understand that work experience is important. And because of that, I started pursuing, internships. I started pursuing like side projects. I used to take on some freelance work. And it was those things that helped me. I got my first internship and then I was in that position for over a year. I stayed there for a long time. And because I was working there and they saw that, oh, okay, this person actually knows what she's doing, I sort of got a promotion in quotes to become like a full staff person there. And then I was working there. That was my first real job. This was like at about 19 or something. Yeah. I started the internship at 19. I worked there till I was like 21 or 22 or so. I don't remember. And then I got this new job at Microsoft, which I am now. I have been working at Microsoft for like 2 years. I I hit my 2 year anniversary sometime last week. I think last week Wednesday. So what I do in my job at Microsoft is, if there's any one of you here that is familiar with AR, VR, like maybe you have a VR headset, you like to play VR games, or you play Minecraft, Earth, or any of all these games, or you've had some kind of VR experience before at the mall or when you traveled or anything like that, I work with people that build this kind of cool stuff essentially. So I build the things that allow other people build these things. Oh yes, she used to play Minecraft. That's really cool. So in my team, we worked on a product that allows the engineers at Minecraft build the AR version of Minecraft. If you know the AR version of Minecraft, it's called Minecraft Earth. I don't know if you've heard about it, but we built something in my team. It's called Azure Spatial Anchors. So Spatial Anchors allows the people that are building Minecraft and Minecraft Earth to do a bunch of stuff. If you know how Minecraft works, you know that most times you are in like the Minecraft world doing a bunch of really cool stuff and like just building out stuff, and then you can go inside what you build and experience it. But with Minecraft Earth, you are not constrained to like your phone or your computer or that console or whatever. You can actually, because it's AR, you can build out like the different blocks or houses or things you want to build in your room, for example, and you can enter it and it will be like you just build something else in your room and you are in your room and it feels like the thing is real. But it's actually not. It's just like computer graphics and blocks. But that whole experience is really great. And we build something that empowers that, and we build other things as well, similar to those kinds of stuff. So that's what I'm currently, working on now. Hopefully, I get to do more exciting things in the future. Hopefully, you get to join me in that time. I'm looking forward to working with some of you here and stuff like that. So that's basically how my transition has been from like when I was an 8-year-old to now that I am almost a 25-year-old. And if anybody has any questions for me, please feel free to drop them in the chat. I'm open to answering any of your questions at all.
Before we open the floor for questions, I'm getting a lot from the girls that are saying that they would like to see you. And also, I would like to ask a question. Like how did you have any challenge? Was there anything? Was there like what were the challenges that you faced like on your path to doing your journey? And how did you handle them?
Major challenges for me would be, at that time, lack of information, or like lack of data or information or some kind of like research to back up a lot of things. So somebody is like, oh, okay, one, you want to start learning how to code, right? And start with this programming language. Why? Like there's not much research or data, or not too many people that have done this, because it was early on, right? So I remember early on in my life, early on in my career, early on in that stage, I wouldn't call it a challenge, but I think that it kind of slowed me down because I had to put my hand into different things, figure out the one that would have made sense for me, or the one that made the most sense for for me, or even the one that in quotes would be good or is the most fun or is the most lucrative if you're someone that's chasing money or something. Like I had to try different things. I wouldn't call that a challenge, but not just having access to as much information was a thing for me in that time. Another thing was I struggled a lot with because um I don't want to say I'm young, but then I was young. I mean, being having a job at like 19, going to the office every day, and then you are seeing people that are like older than you, and especially when it's like small offices where everyone knows each other. So I know I struggled with a lot of. I don't know that I was shy or I was mute for a long time. Like I was one of those people that when you ask them something, it's like, oh, okay, so Adora, how do you feel about this? I can't open my mouth. Great, that whatever I say is going to be wrong or correct or something. I just had that fear of failing, and that was a challenge. That was something that I had to overcome. Like I had to, and one of the ways I actually overcame it was by purposely putting myself in positions where I had to speak by force. So making sure that I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm going to start speaking at like different events. Or I'm going to open this YouTube channel and I am not going to die. I'm just going to learn how to overcome this fear. So that fear of not being able to speak, it was a serious thing for me. Like we used to have, different meetings, different book reviews, or even when I go out to like, for a meeting, I'm one of the people that go for the meeting to support the person going and we're like with clients and they ask me a question. I can't answer, I can't open my mouth to speak because I'm so confused, I'm so afraid. So those were the two major things to be honest. Yeah.